Welcome back to my channel. This is a real-life story. I never thought I'd be the kind of guy telling this kind of story. But life has a way of throwing you curveballs when you least expect it. My name is Jake, and for the past 7 years, I thought I had the perfect marriage. Until one day my wife Lisa said the words that shattered everything. "Jake, I need space." I thought I was being a good husband. I listened. I stepped back. I gave her the space she asked for. But what happened next? Let's just say it turned my world upside down. Lisa and I had been together since high school. She was my best friend, my partner, my everything. We built a life together. College, our first apartment, our first home. I never once questioned our bond. Then, things started changing. Slowly at first. Subtle signs, missed texts, canceled plans, a growing emotional distance. She started staying up late, glued to her phone, smiling at messages I wasn't a part of. The warmth in our marriage turned into something colder, more distant. And then she hit me with it. "Jake, I just feel like I need some space to figure things out." Those words. I remember them so clearly. I sat there stunned, trying to make sense of what she was saying. Figure things out? What was there to figure out? Was I suffocating her? Had I done something wrong? I wanted to fight for us, to hold on. But I respected her enough to step back. I thought giving her space was the right thing to do. So I did. And that's when things got weird. Lisa started coming home late. The working late excuse became more frequent. The way she looked at me? It wasn't the same. When I tried to talk about us, she brushed me off. It felt like I was losing her, piece by piece, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Then one night, I woke up at 2 a.m. Her side of the bed was empty. No text. No call. Nothing. I sat up, staring at my phone. My stomach twisted in knots as my mind raced with possibilities. Where was she? Was she okay? I wanted to believe there was a reasonable explanation. At 3:15 a.m., she walked in. Her hair was messy, and she smelled different. Not like her usual perfume. A different scent clung to her clothes. A scent that wasn't mine. I asked her where she had been. She shrugged. "I told you, Jake. I need space." And that's when I knew. I kept my distance. I focused on work, spent more time with friends, tried to distract myself. If Lisa wanted space, I was going to give her exactly that. But the moment I stopped chasing her, she panicked. She started calling me randomly, asking where I was. She suddenly cared about my schedule. She'd drop by my office unannounced, bring me coffee like she used to, act all affectionate, like things were normal. It was almost like she could feel me pulling away. And she didn't like it. Then one night, I noticed her phone light up while she was asleep. A message. From someone named Brandon. My stomach clenched. I wasn't the jealous type. But something about this name, about her reaction whenever she was on her phone, made my instinct scream. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. And that's when my world collapsed. Dozens of messages. Flirty, intimate. Conversations with Brandon that should have been with me. Plans to meet up. Secrets. Lies. She hadn't needed space. She had needed time to cover her tracks. I wanted to scream, to wake her up and demand answers. But I needed proof, more than just texts. So I waited. The next morning, she left for work. But instead of heading to the office, she drove across town. I followed her. And there he was. Brandon. Sitting across from her at a cafe, laughing, touching her hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. Like she wasn't my wife. I took a picture. Proof. That night, when she got home, I was waiting. I showed her the messages. The photo. She froze. The color drained from her face. Her lips parted, searching for a lie, an excuse, something to wriggle out of the situation. It's not what it looks like. Oh really? Because it looked like cheating. Then came the gaslighting. The tears. The classic "you weren't there for me, Jake" speech. I laughed bitterly. I wasn't there? Or you needed space so you could cheat? She had no answer. I told her I was done. She begged me to stay. She swore she still loved me. But love isn't deception. Love isn't sneaking around. Love isn't space when space means making room for someone else. That night, I packed my bags and left. Walking away was the hardest thing I've ever done. But it was also the best. Sometimes, when people pull away, it's not because they need space. It's because they need distance to do something they know they shouldn't. And when you stop chasing, when you stop begging, that's when the truth comes out. If someone loves you, they won't ask for space. They won't push you away. They'll choose you. I learned that the hard way. So, what do you think? Have you ever been in a situation like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you liked this story, check out my next video. It's even crazier than this one. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.